Your customers are craving a great tasting, authentic pizza experience. That's why we offer Primo Molino Neapolitan style flour, an affordable, high performing flour that's a great alternative to imported Italian 00 flour. It's milled right here in North America, so you can always count on authentic crust texture and taste without the imported flour price. Using an imported flour today? Check out ardentmills.com to request a sample and try it for yourself.
Welcome back to Checking In With. I am Denise Greer, Executive Editor here at Pizza Today. With me is Creative Director Josh Keown. Hey, Josh.
Hello, Denise.
Hello there. All right, with us on the show today is the owners of the family-run Cheshire Pizza Ale in Cheshire, Connecticut. We have Rita Halkias and Dimitri Magriplis on the line. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, guys.
We're excited to be here.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. I got to give you a compliment right off the bat. It feels like from just seeing what you guys have been doing since COVID, you have been a step ahead every time something has taken place. Your planning gears are in just a fascinating position. So what's been going on with Cheshire?
Well, a lot has been going on. I mean, pretty much everything else has been going on in all of America right now. You know, it's been an interesting year for all of us, and we've kind of just run with it and tried to make the best of it. So, I mean, for us here in Connecticut, the guidelines pretty much have been pretty much in line with everything else with the rest of the states throughout the country. There's been, there's been various restrictions, different phases, and we're currently right now, we were in phase 3, we're currently back into phase 2A. And what phase 2A dictates is a 50% dining capacity, which up until, actually today it's still allowed at 75% capacity for phase 3. They've pulled it back and they're putting it into effect as of Friday, this coming Friday. They're phasing us back into phase 2. And what they're basically doing is they've limited the indoor capacity to 50%. Of course, there's proper social distancing, like the 6 feet distance. The other interesting thing that they've done that they hadn't done before is that they're capping hours of operation. They're capping it at 9:30 p.m. only because there was a lot of businesses that weren't really adhering to the rules to the point that they should have been. So with the colder weather and cases climbing, positivity rate climbing, we're kind of taking a step back in that regard.
Yeah. Now, did you guys take that? Did you guys kind of anticipate that? Hey, we're going to probably have to go back in our seating capacity.
Well, funny you should mention that because we did anticipate it, and that's one of the reasons why, till this day, we still haven't opened up our dining room. So our dining room has been closed throughout COVID.
Oh, wow. So, yeah. So you guys are just floating right on along then. You already got the plan in place. So it's nice.
So I think when COVID hit, we were ahead of the ball only because we're able to pretty much reflect and determine what the community needs because we actually live in the town that our business is. So we have had several meetings, always involved our staff in really grasping what the community needs. We're always 2 steps ahead because for that reason, we live here and we know exactly what's missing and what the demographics of the town needs. So I think also another reason for not reopening is obviously we're concerned about the safety of our staff, their community, and our families. But also it took a long time to pretty much get all the processes under order in regards to delivery, curbside, making sure we're equipped with the proper staffing. That within itself took some tweaking and reassessing. So I feel like now we have a flow. If we open up dining, it kind of brings in another element that has to be revisited and tweaked and worked out. So
we've noticed a strong correlation in pizzerias that are doing really well, that are really ingrained in their community. So yeah, it sounds like that's the same thing with you guys.
Absolutely. Actually, when Jimmy and I, we've been doing some soul searching recently, and when when we took a look at our vision and our mission, when we first opened, we had this long, elaborate, like written out statement. And when we were looking at it again, we were like, you know what? It's not so much a statement, it's more of a feeling. So it's the feeling people get when they walk in here. It's the feeling people get when we see them out in the community. And that's something very hard to replicate. And that's kind of what we embed in our staff when we do professional development and training is we want them to feel the same way we feel so that they our customers. That takes time, patience, and strong staff. So
one of the hardest things for us has been how can we convey that feeling that people would feel when they would come here? How can we take that and have it translate in the current conditions? Because our ability to interact with our customers has been reduced tremendously. So, you know, we have to put a lot of emphasis on the way that we approach customers, whether it's on the phone or whether we're running their food up to their car, or whether it is when we're delivering food to them. You know, any single opportunity we have in order to touch them the way that we would touch them when they come into the store, for us is super important.
Oh, absolutely. And how do you do that from, you know, you've actually added a lot of technology to your operation. You know, how are you able to, you know, kind of embed that love and hospitality into those components?
It's very hard to embed it into the components that we've implemented and brought on board. It has to do more with every opportunity of human interaction that we have. There's a positive and a negative that's come out of COVID. The positive is that there's been a big push towards businesses that are set up technologically in order to be able to absorb the volume. Okay, but because of that, it reduces the opportunity that you have in order to make that contact with the customer. So it's making sure that your staff that's on board is fully buying into your mantra, okay, and the business mantra. And we are beyond blessed to have staff that gets it, okay? And it's simple as that, they get it. And they get it because we do our utmost in order to make them feel like they are part of our family. You know, we treat them as if they are our own.
It's one of my top priorities, making sure that everyone's happy, really. And I know that's kind of mushy and lots of butterflies and rainbows, but that's really what I stand for. That includes my staff, that includes customers, and there's always a solution. It's my way of thinking. So
yeah.
I mean, things that we have done in order to improve our ability to provide the service that our customers have gotten used to, and B, absorb larger, basically a higher percentage of volume, is we've almost automated our process. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of context, pre-COVID, our online orders were at about 22%, if I'm not mistaken. Currently, we're running a shade, I think right now, under 80%. I think 70% of online orders. There's a reason why. Okay, it's very easy to do. It's very effective. It allows people to go on their own leisurely pace and order without having the stress of picking up the phone and getting an order right and making sure that the person that's on the other end of the line is, you know, taking down the order properly. It gives them proper timelines regarding when food is expected to be ready. The biggest issue that we had back in end of March and beginning of April was that it just became obvious that everybody wanted to eat at the same time. And that was probably the biggest hindrance to all small restaurants throughout the country. Everyone was eating between 5 and 7, and they all wanted their food at the same time. So what can we do in order to improve our system of operation, and what technology can we implement in order to have more transparency and clarity in regards to the order that a customer places? And we managed to do that via online ordering and mostly via automated text to the customer that notifies them once their order is ready. So we will adjust our expected times, whether it's takeout or delivery, according to the flow of volume into the store. But from there on in, our customers have come to expect that text message that tells them that, you know what, your order is ready. When you arrive, please call the store, let us know which parking spot number you're in, and we will run your food out to you. Okay, and vice versa. Once the order is ready to be dispatched and the driver has the order in hand, we auto-populate that text that lets the customer know that their order is on their way, and it should be, reaching within the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, that's way ahead of the curve than most people. And I totally agree with the calling a pizzeria and making the order now. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I just break down. I'm like, I just got to order this online now.
We used to actually argue at the office who was going to call and order the pizza, because the one pizzeria we used at the office did not take online ordering.
Josh, when you talk about how are we still involved within the community, even though we're in a pandemic, we find ways to kind of show our appreciation. One thing we did over Easter was we ordered, I think it was over 1,000 huge Easter eggs. And we literally sent all the staff outside with your mask, your little bunny ears, and we had a drive-by. And literally half the town came by. We threw the little eggs in yeah. It was literally half the town just drove right through our parking lot. They popped their hoods. We put the eggs in their trunk, and then we waved and they drove off. So we're still able to connect with our customers and show our appreciation in just other creative ways.
It was back in, I think it was end of April, beginning of May. We contacted our local the school system here in town, and we wanted to give something back to all the lunch ladies that were basically feeding the whole town of Cheshire on a daily basis through drive-by. And we cooked off, I think it was about 120 large pizzas on a Monday morning. We started off at 4 in the morning, and we delivered everything at pretty much, I think it was about 8:30. And we fed the whole town, all the kids in town that day. On our, it was something that we wanted to donate back to them, just to give them a break, because we know how hard they've been working through all this.
Oh man, that's so good. I love that. Give me like little goosebumps on my arm with that one. That's so nice. So I know that you launched a delivery fleet right before COVID, right? You launched it in the winter. So now you've got almost a year, close to a year of doing delivery. Wow, hindsight. Yeah, how amazing was that?
Great timing.
Yeah, really lucky there.
So what have you learned from, because a lot of people are starting delivery right from scratch right now. Kind of what have you learned since you've launched your fleet to kind of help other operators in what they're kind of doing with their delivery systems?
Well, we've learned, and there's been a learning curve there as well. So we launched exactly a week ago, actually this week last year. And the one thing that we did is we never advertised, we never promoted it. We just put it out there on our online platform, and we let it grow organically. We didn't want to inundate our kitchen with a very big increase in orders during peak times. Kind of wanted to grow it, slowly, so we can gauge what we need to do in order for us to be more efficient. What we've realized with delivery and with takeout through COVID especially is that your operation has to run like an engine, okay? And there are several cogs in that engine that constantly need to work, and everyone is as important as the person next to them. We've put a very, very big emphasis on expediting in our restaurant. It's something that we had it before, but we didn't need to be on top of it as much as we do now. So basically, I'll use the analogy of my line. Everyone in my kitchen is a quarterback, and that quarterback has to have a receiver across from them. Okay. So, I mean, we do a lot more than pizzas. We're very fryer heavy. We do a big wing business. We do a lot of burgers, wraps, salads, and so on and so forth. So there's basically various stations in the kitchen. On the flip side of that station, there's somebody receiving everything that comes up into the window. What that does is it allows us to organize and avoid mistakes. The most important thing in delivery for me is the avoidance of mistakes, which is why we're always against third-party delivery systems, only because we couldn't make good on mistakes that were made by somebody else. Okay, so being very organized and being very meticulous in the process from A to Z, it's super important.
I gotcha. Now, I think hey, we've taken up a lot of your time this afternoon, but I'll ask one last question about right behind you. You have all those wonderful beer taps. How have you been able to sustain your beer program during this time not having any dine-in? Now are you doing smaller? Are you doing just growlers, or are you doing the half growlers? Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
How have you been?
Little sippy cup.
Oh, sippy cup. Okay, gotcha. That was my next question.
Yeah,
it's like a juice box, kind of.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's neat. So, how have beer sales been? Since, I mean, obviously, probably not the same as dine-in.
I'll give you some insight. How has beer sales been? So, we never sold growlers pre-COVID. I had inventory in stock that I had to move. So I figured I'll throw it on my portal. If they order, so be it. So I approached several breweries and distributors here in the state, and they were able to provide us some growlers. And you'd be surprised how much beer we have sold through this. Speaking to our distributors, we are one of the largest on-premise accounts in the 2 counties that they serve here in our vicinity. I just received my 4th pallet of growlers from Grandstand this week. We have done, since COVID started, I'd say about 3,500 growlers, which is just an absolute mind blow.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It sucks to lose the bar, okay, and to lose your alcohol sales, but we've been able to mitigate by, reducing the margins on to-go liquor and putting an emphasis on fresh draft beer and bringing it to our customers' door. So that's something that via executive order, our governor allowed back in, I think it was end of April, and we've done great with it. So we can't complain. The other big thing that we've managed to do, which doesn't really relate to this question, but I just wanted to put it out there, is that we managed to retain all our staff, both back of house and front of house. So that was something that was very important to us from day one. Our initial objective was to maintain everyone that was working full time, at least until we kind of figured out, how things were going to go. But things have been so good for us that we were essentially able to maintain all 30 plus staff of ours. They transitioned from servers and bartenders to expediters and drivers and food runners, but everyone has remained on board. They've been very loyal to us, and for the most part, I think that that's something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, as you should be. Also that takes a huge stress relief off of you guys, if still having your whole staff that's trained the way you need it to be.
Especially with the staffing shortages right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That is amazing.
That's the number one problem we hear.
When we can travel again, we've been saying it for a while that we needed to get up there. And so, oh man, we've had you guys on a list for years now, and we got to get up there once this subsides and we can travel again.
We'll throw a little private party just for you.
All right. Well, thanks so much, guys, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Either at an expo or there. So.
Absolutely. Have a great afternoon, guys. Thanks
Okay,
for
thank you
talking.
so much for your time.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Take care.